Hare Krishna. Welcome to Get Inspired Spiritually, a place to find yourself and awaken spiritually. Today we are going to start the Bhagavad Gita stanza-wise explanation series here. Okay, so before we start the Bhagavad Gita with the text and all, it is very important for us to learn about the base of Bhagavad Gita, which is Vedas. So, as you are all aware that Vedas, Sanatana Dharma is based on Vedas, and Vedas are the only infinite source of eternal wisdom, which they exist all time. It is said that Ananta vai Vedaha, because Vedas are infinite, which means that Vedas are infinite, and Apaurisheyaha Vedaha, which means that Vedas aren't written by any person. It exists alike Paramatma all time. So Vedas has been categorized into four types by Sri Bhagavan Vedavyasa, starting from the largest Veda, which is Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda and Atharvana Veda. So again, each Veda is segregated into four parts: Samhita, Aranyaka, Brahmana and Upanishad. So Upanishads are the last part of Vedas as per the chronology. And coming to the Bhagavad Gita, which is known as, which means the song of God. Bhagavad Gita is actually told by God himself. Lord Krishna has himself advised Arjuna his wisdom. He has given his knowledge and wisdom in the form of Bhagavad Gita. So Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita is a part of our epic, which is called Mahabharata. Mahabharata is known as Panchama Veda, which is written by again Sri Bhagavan Vedavyasa. Why Mahabharata? It is said that, Mahatcha Aso Bharataha. So Mahabharata is something which is full of Mahat. I mean, in the sense which has got a lot of weightage. It is full of wisdom, which is full of weightage, or what you call as Mahat. So which is full of Mahima and Mahat. It is so prominent, and it is full of all prominent wisdom, and which is full of that. So that's why it is called Mahabharata. So that's why we call that as Mahabharata. And again, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata, which comes under Bhishma Parva, where before Bhagavad Gita is advised to Arjuna by Lord Krishna before the start of the war. Okay, so we will start with the actual thing. Start with the first sloka of that. Before that, we will have to tell about. We forgot about one thing, that is Vedas. Okay, so Vedas are metaphorical. We call that as Guhya Kavya. Okay, so Kavyas are, there are many types of Kavyas, like prominently Guhya Kavya, Drushya Kavya and Shravya Kavya. So these Kavyas, Mahabharata is actually, Bhagavad Gita is Shravya Kavya, which is something that is worthy of listening to as a advice or lecture thing. However, Vedas are Guhya Kavya. The word Guhya means which are metaphorical, which doesn't explicitly state the meaning of this, or Vedas doesn't directly convey the meanings of that. For that, something we need to interpret it, analyze it to understand the deeper meaning of Vedas. Okay, so with that, primarily, this is just for mention, which we will be explaining it in the future stanzas. But Vedas can be interpreted in two ways. Okay, Rudhi and Yogika. So this Yogika Artha and Rudhi Artha. So these are the two ways with which we interpret the Vedas. Okay, so and again we use a base philosophy. With the help of base philosophy and with these two interpretation techniques, we interpret the Vedas and try to understand the Vedas. Great. So coming to that, now we will start with the first sloka of Bhagavad Gita. Dhritarashtra uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yotsavaha Mamakanam Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. So here Dhritarashtra says, O Sanjaya, after assembling in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, what did my sons and the sons of Pandu do, being desirous to fight? So Bhagavad Gita is the most widely read grantha or epic in the world, and it is one of the few epics which has been translated in most languages in the world, including Arabic. So so it is like, Bhagavad Gita it is said that, like, for all the problems of life, Bhagavad Gita has the solutions. Very recently we saw, the athlete who won the bronze medal in Olympics. She stated that her inspiration, what made her to pursue again with the her athletic career, shooting career, it is Bhagavad Gita. Particularly the Karma Yoga, it inspired her to again try again, and now today she has won. Okay, so as previously stated, Bhagavad Gita or Vedas are basically, although Bhagavad Gita is Shravya Kavya, but still the meanings are somewhat that has to be implied, in the sense, it is not, you don't understand, or you will understand only a part of that meaning, because it is very comprehensive and the meanings are very comprehensive. So is true with Vedas and Bhagavad Gita, although it is Shravya Kavya. But if you just understand, what I told, what we previously stated, that the translation part, if you understand, you will not be able to understand anything. So you have to understand it deeply through summaries, because it is the summary of all the Upanishads. So Upanishads have got deeper meanings which represents Vedas. So one thing again, the best thing what we should do is Bhagavad Gita or Vedas have to be understood in its truest sense. You have to understand it in the way that it has been said. So it is not like what where people will play with the semantics and they just play with the meaning of the words and try to derive and narrowly interpreted interpretations. So this way one should not. So that's why it is told that, even if you know Vyakarana Shastra of Sanskrit, still it doesn't mean that you will be understanding Vedas and Vedanta, because it has to be understood in the right spirit. So that is the importance of the meanings of Bhagavad Gita, where it implies certain meanings and it has to be understood through the guidance of a well-learned guru. And with the guidance of guru, you will be able to understand the Bhagavad Gita or Vedanta or Vedas in its truest sense. So coming to correct. So these things are explained. So coming to the first thing, as Dhritarashtra told to Sanjaya, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. So Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. So why Kurukshetra is called Dharma Kshetra? See, we should understand that Dharma is a very comprehensive term. Nowadays, most people are commonly referring it to religion and sometimes caste. So but Dharma is a very comprehensive word. Dharayati iti dharmaha. So Dharma is something that bears the creation. So God God bears the creation, God bears his creation. I mean, Lord Krishna protects his creation through dharma. So dharma is something that has to be followed by everyone. So we have swadharma, so varnashrama dharma, which has got very deeper meaning, but most people are, they simply misinterpret it, and they refer it to caste. Okay, so varna is very different from caste, which we will be learning in the future stanzas of Bhagavad Gita. So one thing is dharma, dharayati iti dharma. So dharma kshetre means dharma kshetre is something where a lot of dharmic rituals which has been performed in Kurukshetra by Kuru Maharaja. So according to Vamana Purana, King Kuru chose the land between Saraswati river and Saraswati river for his embedding his spirituality and his penance. So he practiced penance there with 8 virtues, which include austerity, tapas, and truth, satya. So forgiveness, kshama, kindness, daya, purity, shuddha, and charity, dana, and devotion, yajna, and conduct, brahmacharya. So this is something that 8 virtues which any person has to embody himself in his everyday life. So with his penance and his rituals, with the Lord, King Kuru's rituals and his all these dharmic rituals which he performed in Kurukshetra, Lord Vishnu got impressed, and he blessed him with 2 boons. So that land got the name Kurukshetra because it is one of the boons which Lord Vishnu bestowed to Kuru Maharaj, and and it is told that any person who dies on that particular Kurukshetra, that he will attain heaven or Viragati. So the reason is the reason why Mahabharata Yuddha or the battle was chosen the war field was chosen as Kurukshetra because any person who fights, irrespective of the parties, I mean whether it is Kauravas or Pandavas, they will attain Virgati by fighting in that battle. Normally any soldier will attain Virgati, but especially in that, there are several categories of heavens. So that will be the highest heaven where they can live there for thousands of years. So that's why Kurukshetra was chosen as the war field to fight against the counter parties in Mahabharata. Kuru is actually the ancestor of both Pandavas and Kauravas. From him only this Kuru Vamsha started. Okay, so that way this is the significance of Kurukshetra. Coming back to the meanings of the translation meaning of the summaries and deeper meanings of Bhagavad Gita. So we understood so that's why they chose the Kurukshetra. So and Bhagavad Gita, I mean, as you are aware, Sanjaya is actually the disciple of sage Vedavyasa. Sage Vedavyasa or Bhagwan Sri Vedavyasa, who happens to be the avatar of Vishnu, has many disciples which include Jaimini Maharshi. Jaimini Maharshi is very prominent, where he wrote Jaimini Sutras, which became like a Bible, which became the root source of for one Vedic interpretation or for Purva Mimamsa. It became the base book for Purva Mimamsa Shastra. So again, Jaimini, Sanjaya, Shushruta, Charaka, all these are disciples of sage Vedavyasa, and including our Trayacharyas, including Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, and Madhvacharya, or basically they were guided by Sri Vedavyasa to establish Vedanta Siddhanta. So this way, sage Vedavyasa had has revived the dharma in Kali Yuga and in all of the Yuga. So coming to So again, they have explained about the plot of the Mahabharata, which you are all aware. Like basically, where Kauravas, in an unjust way, they snatched all the land from Pandavas, and finally the Kurukshetra war had to happen. Actually, Kurukshetra war is actually the sankalp of Lord Krishna, where Lord Krishna wanted to establish dharma or dharma samsthapana, and he wanted to remove off all these asuras who were in this Kaurava side. So Duryodhana is an incarnation of Kali, and that's why the Kali Vad has to happen, had to happen in Dwapara Yuga. So that's how he, it is as per, and this entire Kurukshetra Yuddha is happened as per the wish of Lord Krishna. So we will go by shloka, in consecutive sessions, and we will understand it deeply with with reference to various other things. Then we will try to interpret and memorize things. So one thing is, basically there are a lot of books written on Bhagavad Gita, and many people will back off and they will try to choose the small one, so something that has less number of pages. Please don't do that. So we suggest you a technique to read Bhagavad Gita, with which we studied it on day-to-day basis. So we chose the largest book. Basically, we chose this Bhagavad Gita Yatharoop, written by Sri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ji. So that we will be using as the base book for the meanings and interpretations, along with the other books. So personally, I studied by the grace of God. I finished all 884 pages. So by shloka wise, reading on day-to-day basis. So most people will tell that, oh, I can't read Vedas or Vedantas, I don't have time, I can't read Bhagavad Gita. So we advise you to study each shloka per day. Please apply this technique on day-to-day basis. Before you start the work, it can be in office. I think most of you will be working from home, or someday you will go to be someday. So most of the days you will be working at home only, and whenever you work at home, it is advisable to study one shloka of Bhagavad Gita. So because it is said that every day if you chant one shloka of Bhagavad Gita, punarjanma navidyate, so you won't be having an incarnation, so you will be free of this painful cycle of death and rebirth. So it is advisable to study the entire one shloka along with the interpretation of one shloka. It can be any book. Please read it, and before you start the work, you read, and then you start the work. Develop it as a habit. It is definitely going to help you in spiritual transcendence. It will improve your vibrations. Your jnana will improve. You will be you will get the solutions to all of your problems. So that way it is advisable to read each shloka per day. That's it for today. Hope you like the video. If you like the video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Please don't forget to press the bell icon, because you will be getting instant updates whenever we post the video. So we will be posting frequently. So weekly once normally I will be posting. So that's it for today. Again, thank you so much for watching. See you soon.